Hi, dynamic linking, very powerful feature. Let me show you for what you can use it. So imagine that you want to collect product details from not just from this listing page over here, like title and price, but you want to go inside of each of these products and collect more details like title, description, maybe customer reviews, price, SQ, category tags, and so on. So imagine that you have thousand or hundreds of thousand pages. So this is how you will do it. So let me show you. We're gonna open Automate extension, and first of all, what we're gonna do over here under the start action, as you can see, we have a static URL. So it means that when Automate you're starting and going to automate any website, it's starting with some URL. It needs to start with some URL. And this URL is by default static one, the one you open the website or an extension or the one you edit and provide. But there's ability to add to to change to dynamic one. It means that you can collect the data from another instance or from another source dynamically. So what we're going to do here, we're going to create two instances. The first instance we can call a parent instance, which will basically collect the data or actually the product URLs. Um, and the second instance, which will go on each of that product URL and collect this data like title, description, price, and so on. So let's get started and let me show you how you can use this and why it's so powerful. So let's create one extract action so we can collect the product URLs. So I'm going to change from the text to link over here and rename this and call it product URL. If I preview, we're gonna see over here all of these URLs. I'm gonna also use the pagination action in combination. So I'm gonna mark this load more button so he can click to load more pages, and I'm gonna create this loop so we can collect more data. I'm gonna say, hey, automate you collect 5 pages, and that's it. Just before I run this instance, I'm aware, I know that there's this pop-up thing over here which shows me, and it's gonna block my pagination. So just in order, I'm gonna talk about this preserve cookie thing in the details later. I'm gonna show you how to use it. So I'm gonna use this to avoid that. Anyway, let's create and run. We go to the dashboard. Okay, we are collecting the data. As you can see, 16 rows of data from page 1, 32 rows from page 2, and so on. So we're now going to collect all of these product URLs. So it's only had 3 pages or 40 rows of data. Great. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go to the product URL. I already have opened this page, and I'm going to open again Automate extension and create a new instance. And first of all, let's say, hey, I want to collect this data, and then I want to collect this. Actually, let me select with the shift. Maybe this. Just for a demonstration purpose, I'm gonna select just a few data. So this will be a title, description, price. So a preview, that's you're gonna get one row of data. Now, what we want to do once again, we want to go on each of these collected URL from the uh, previous instance, from the parent instance, and collect all of this data, title, description, price, and so on. So let's do it very simply. in the start action, instead of the static data type to go on this specific URL, we're gonna say, hey, go on dynamic, and then we're gonna select the source. The source can be the instance list of the Google Sheet. I'm gonna show you this in the other video. So let's now use the instance. So the instance, and now we need to say, hey, which instance? Because we have many instances out there, right? Let's find the instance. This is the latest instance. Let's use the latest instance. And this instance inside have a data points, right? And these data points, let me show you once again, is those product URLs, like which we're gonna use. So basically, let me select the data point. Currently, we have only one data point. Sometimes you can have 5, 10 different data points, like title, description, whatever it needs. In this case, we need URLs. So let's select it. And as you can see, this is how we set up dynamic linking instant. So let's run. Before we run, let me put some screenshot. Let's just have a screenshot of each of this page so we can see that Automatio actually went out there and collected the data from these pages. So let's do it. I also once again gonna use this import cookies, preserve cookies, which basically just gonna uh, collect cookies from my computer where I already closed this pop-up box so it doesn't interfere with our Automatio and collecting data. So let's run. I'm gonna just rename this. I can say level 2 or something, whatever I wanna call. So let's create and run. Let's see how this is gonna work. Let's go to the dashboard. Now into the dashboard, we have this red sign. It's mean that this is a child instance. It's or actually dynamic linking instance. And now we have these numbers over here. So we can go if you click here, we can go back to the parent instance, and uh, we can see okay, there's a 40 URLs, and we already collected 3 pages. So let's see, as you can see, we're already collecting the data from these product pages inside, not outside, not from just from the listing. All right. So let me go there on the screenshot and see what is going on. So if I open the screenshot over here, as you can see, this is the first product he collected. This is the second product, fourth, and so on. And now he's going out there and collecting a data from each of these products separately. Very powerful, really, really powerful. So even now, in some cases, if there's a reason that Automatio fail or break or stop, you can resume. So if you click the resume, it's gonna resume where it's stopped. Also very powerful. Imagine that you need to imagine that you're scraping for thousands of product page or actually for hours or days. You can resume when you use dynamic linking feature. So let's see what's in the logs. As you can see in the log, it says navigating to this specific product URL, it's capturing the screenshot, waiting, extracting, and so on. Actually, I think I did the yeah, I put it a screenshot and wait. It should be like this, but it worked anyway. So once again, dynamic linking is very powerful feature where you can collect data deep inside the the website. So you can go deep as much as you want. You can create 3 level, 4 level deep, where you can, for example, you want to scrape the categories URL, then you want to scrape the for each of these category, you want to scrape the subcategories URLs and maybe subcategories, and then there is a product list with pagination like this, where you can collect, and then you can create really really deep and complex scenario out there. And for the end, once again, instead of the static data type, we're using now dynamic data type. which is the instant source. It can be the listing Google Sheet, which I'm gonna mention in other video. And yeah, that's it. What also we can do is we can also say, hey Automatio, stop after, you know, 20 links. So it's gonna collect a 20, even if you have a 200 links, it's gonna collect a 20 links, and then it's gonna stop. And if I use this, even now, if I use this resume option, next time when we start again this instant, it's gonna continue where it stops. So this is a really good, because if you don't wanna collect all the data at once, if for some reason you wanna a limit how many data you want to collect per day or something, it's really powerful, especially if you use it with scheduling, which I'm going to cover in another video. So this is dynamic linking, really powerful feature. Once again, not just that you can collect the data here, you can use again complex, build a complex flows and bots and scenarios, like use a click, so it can maybe add this to the cart. Input some data using an input action, or whatever you choose from a toolbox, and so on. All right, that's it for dynamic linking.